Hey there, so it's Kathy with Be Creative with Kathy. And so today's video, I'm going to just make my January thank you cards with you so you can see what my thank you card looks like this month. Every month, if you place an order, I like to send out a thank you card. And I leave it blank, right? This one I think I stamped on the inside, this one, but that way you can reuse my thank you card. And like I said, that's what I do every month. You place an order, I send you a thank you card. And then some months I have promotions. You place an order, I'll put you in a drawing. So for Sale-a-bration, I have 2 extra stamp sets from Sale-a-bration. So in February, if you place your order before February 25th, because I'm going to do the drawing here live on Facebook Friday, February 26th, I'll put your name in the drawing. So I'll have 2 winners. First one to contact me after the drawing gets their choice, and the second person to contact me will get the other stamp set. But these are the 2 stamp sets that are in my drawing for the month of February. Also in February, in lieu of a thank you card, I'm going to send you a make and take. So instead of a full made card, you'll get all the pieces to make this card. And now don't worry, I have a video out there. In fact, if you're watching on Facebook, I don't know how to attach the video here, but if you go to my YouTube channel, I'll have the video there and I'll attach it to this video on my YouTube channel there. I'll find in the comments, I'll put a link in the comments to this video on Facebook. If you happen to be watching on Facebook, I would love for you to share this video and like my page. It just helps me get the word out that I'm a demonstrator here in Denver, Colorado, and it's fun to create. So let's go on with our card. Let's get our pieces ready. And I'm going to start, I have a piece of basic black cardstock here. It's 8.5 by 5.5, and I've scored it here at 4 1/4. And now we're going to take a little bit off of this. Before, though, we do this, I want to talk about my trimmer just a little bit. So last night I'm getting ready to make my video, and I noticed that my trimmer, when I trim my paper, my cardstock was just a little bit rough. So I thought I probably need to change my blade. Now if you have a trimmer, you should know that we sell their cutter blades or replacement blades are on my online store, which you can find right here at kathyhouse.stampinup.net. There we go. And you can find replacement blades. And I was going to replace my blade, and there's a little spot down here where you can remove the blade, and I was removing the blade, and holy smackdown, it is sharp. So I decided that my blade does not need to be replaced. My paper cutter just needs to be cleaned a little bit. So I like to keep these Keurig alcohol prep pads, I guess they're called. I keep those in my stamp room for such occasions. And if you take one of those little pads, right? In fact, I'm even going to unfold it so it's thinner. And I'm going to just lay it across that little groove there where my cutting blade goes, and take a pick tool and just clean this runway here, or whatever this groove right here is called. I guess I called it the runway. And I did this last night, but you'll see a little bit, it's still a little dirty. So that's a way to get your trimmer, if it's not cutting really smooth and really soft, then it's probably that it just needs to be cleaned a little bit. Mine did not need to be replaced. It was still really sharp. But there you go. Let's move on. So that was just a warning. If you're going to use the paper cutter, this is definitely a blade. So on the front of my card, now this is how it's going to fold. So on the front of my card, I want to take 1 1/4 inches off of the front. So I'm going to line it up over here with my paper trimmer and then just slice off. Let me try to get it straight. 1 1/4 inches of that card. Now the front of my card is going to be just a little bit short, and you can't see it now, but I'll show you later. And then this piece, we're going to use this for our card too. I'm going to cut this down to 4 3/4. So I'm only going to cut off this little bit of cardstock right here, and then I'm going to go ahead and score it. So I'm going to put my cutting blade down here so I don't use the wrong one. And I'm going to line this up at 3/4 of an inch here, and then I'm going to just score that. So now I have a little score line right here at the end of my cardstock. Okay, now we're all done with the scary trimmer. And I'm going to go ahead and fold the front of my card base over. There we go. And now we're all set to go. And so you can see, look here real quick, this is what the front of my card. See how it's just a little bit shorter? And this piece we'll use. But let's go ahead and take, this is the inside piece. This is basic white, 5 1/4 by 4, just your typical layer. And I want to emboss this a little bit. I'm going to dry emboss this with my dry emboss machine. So I'm going to use, where did they go? These Meadow Moments emboss folders, and there's one in here, if you can see, has the little butterflies and the flowers, and I think it's really cute. Now this is a mini folder that works with your mini cut and emboss machine, but I'm going to use it with my big cardstock because I only want to cut or die, emboss, one of them things, Lord have mercy, the side of my card. So I'm going to just lay it in there, and you know what, that's the wrong side. I want to emboss this side. And on this folder, I think it does have, hold on, I got a cat hair in there, a top and a bottom. So I'm going to lay about there. I'm not going to be too, you could get fancy and measure this and make sure it's 1 1/4, but I'm not going to worry about it. And then with my plates, I'm going to have my #1 platform. Sorry, I had to think for a minute. My #3 plate, cutting plate, and then lay my folder on there. Make sure it's in the center, and then my #3 cutting plate. Now you know that you get the #4 specialty plate, I think it's called, and this is supposed to be for embossing folders, but this is for the 3D or the specialty embossing folders. This is just a standard embossing folder, so I just need the 2 of the #3 cutting pads. And we're going to run that through my die cut machine here real quick. Good boy. Okay, put him away. Let's see if I did my paper right, because everybody knows on video. Oh, I sure did. Looky there. So now I have an embossed piece of paper. And I'm going to, oh, no, I'm not going to put that down. That's going to lay on the inside of my card. But first we need to do some other things. So I also have 2 pieces of black cardstock here. These are 3 inches by 2.5. And just so you know, if you ever need to look at the measurements again, all the measurements of my cards are on my blog, Be Creative with Kathy. So you don't have to worry about if you get all the measurements like written down or anything. You can just go back to my blog and find those measurements. But I'm going to just take a little bit of adhesive right down the center of one of my black pieces and lay, try to get it straight, my cardstock right there. This way I can see. And you know what, I'm going to go ahead and put my designer series paper on here. I have a piece of the Field and Flowers. It's a Sale-a-bration paper. Looks like this. So with a $50 order, you can pick something out of the Sale-a-bration catalog, and this is some of the designer series paper that's in there. Oops, I'm going to lay a little bit of adhesive down on that and lay that right here on the front of my card. Now, did I tell you what size this was? This, I hope, is 5 1/4 by 2 3/4. That's the size of this strip here. So then on this piece here, I'm going to use what's this called? Seal Plus, just to give it a nice strong adhesive on there, because we're going to be tugging to open and close the card. And I'm going to kind of figure where I want it. I think I want it about there. So I'm going to line that score line up with the side of my card, and so it looks just like that. And then when you close it, you have a card that looks like that. So now to cover up this strip, I'm going to go ahead and put the inside of my card in. And I have to tell you that Connie Stewart is the one. She did a card. This is called a flap card, and she showed us this layout, or she did a video of this layout. I think it was with a Valentine card. And when I saw it, I loved it, and I wanted to share it. So thank you, Connie, for sharing the flap card. But looky there, we're almost done, right? So then I'm going to take another piece of black. It's the exact same size, and I'm going to cover up this seam here. Plus, it's going to give a little bit of weight. And that way when it flaps, it's going to hold your card shut. In fact, I'm going to run my bone folder over this one more time and over this. Try to get those nice and flat. Okay, let's add this piece to the back to cover that up. Just a little bit of adhesive here. Sticky. And lay that right there. Now, if you wanted to, you could even cut another piece of white, the basic white. This is a piece 2 1/4 by 2 3/4, and I'm going to lay that, but I'm not going to cover the back. I'm going to just cover the front, but we need to stamp on this real quick. So I'm going to use a touch of ink stamp set. This is another Sale-a-bration. If you place a $100 order, you can choose this stamp set as your freebie. And I'm going to start, first of all, with the little words. And I want the words that say, thank you so much. Let's see if I can find them. Here they are. Nope. Yeah, thank you so much. Where are they? They're hiding. Huh. Back on this one. Let's check. Oh, here they are. We could just check it 3 times and still not find it. Okay. Put that on a clear block. Bring in, I'm going to use black Memento ink. Ink that up good. And you know me, I have to practice one time. Let me bring in a, see, yep, okay. Except did you notice it's upside down? Let me turn my stamp around, make sure it's the right side up. I'm going to try to get it straight on here, down here in this corner. Hold it, let that ink sink in. There we go, and bada boom. That did turn out really nice. And then let's bring in that butterfly. And I'm going to do the outline first. If you've watched my videos before, you know that the 2-step stamping, I like to do the darker color first. And in this case, the outline is going to be black, so it's going to be darker. I'm going to ink him up. I like to practice. Let me practice one time here on my scratch paper. Looks good. Make sure he's nice and inked up. I'd like him really dark. And then I'm going to put scratch paper under here just in case I go off the edges. And I'm going to just take that butterfly and kind of wrap it around my thank you so much. And look how pretty that is. But the cool thing about this stamp set is there's another layer to stamp. And it's the background. And I'm going to bring in, whoo, watch out, some Flirty Flamingo. Now, Flirty Flamingo is just the color of some of these flowers. I could have done the yellow. I think that would have looked good too, but I'm going with the Flirty Flamingo. I'm going to practice one time. Looks like that. Looks good. Okay, and then I'm going to just line that up. Now, it's not a perfect lineup. It's just going to put some color behind that butterfly. Lay it down about there. I think I missed, but like I said, it's not a perfect lineup, so I'm sure. Oh yeah, look how pretty that is. That's just fine. Clean all this up, get rid of all of this, find my card, bring it back in, and then we'll just layer this right on top of that basic black piece right here. So there you go. Look how cute that card is. So here's my original. This one has the hello friend. There's a lot of nice fonts. Best wishes, thank you so much, thinking of you, hello friend, hope and love in that stamp set. It's got the hummingbird, the leaves, the flowers, and the butterfly. So I'm going to sit here. I'm going to keep making cards, get all my cards made as my thank yous. Thank you for watching. I'll be back Monday. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.